You know, it is summertime, and I'm sure many of you have had the opportunity to get away from home, or I hope some of you have gotten that opportunity to get away from home sometime this summer and enjoy a time of vacation. You know, it is so good. It is always so important to have those times to kind of get away from things, get away from your normal routine, get in a new setting, maybe visit friends, family, go to some fun, exotic places. That's what we do oftentimes during the summer. It is good. It is good. But there is something about being away that sometimes when you return, you begin to remember those things that are so important to you. There's something about being home. There's a comfort to it that oftentimes we take for granted. There's support that we have in the systems that we're used to that we also sometimes forget about. There is a sense of security sometimes in just being home that you don't notice when you're always there. There's so many things about home that although it's great to be away, it's good to be home. I know this last trip when I was away, I missed this chair. And I know I've done a lot of devotionals from this chair, and maybe that shows how much I enjoy being in this chair, but I really missed it while I was away. And that was one of the first things I did when I got home. I just sat back in my lazy boy and just enjoyed the comfort and the security of this place, this setting. And you know, some of that got me to thinking about how quickly we do just that. We forget about the comforts of home. We forget about how important home is to us, how important family is to us that are right here all the time, how important our friends are for us who are always with us. And that got me to thinking about the way in which Paul opens the letter that he wrote to the church in Philippi. Now, this was an important church for him. And Paul wasn't away on vacation during this time. He was actually away in prison. But I think sitting there in that place made him remember just how important that church, those people were to him in Philippi. And while I'm not trying to suggest that he took those folks for granted, you can hear in this letter how important they are to him. Just listen to how he starts. After this short greeting, Paul writes this. He says, I thank my God every time I remember you, constantly praying with joy in every one of you in my prayers for all of you. Because of your sharing in the gospel from the first day until now, I am confident in this, that the one who began a good work in you will bring you to completion by the day of Christ Jesus. It is right for me to think this way about all of you because you hold me in your heart. For all of you share in the gospel of grace with me, both in my imprisonment and in my defense of the gospel and confirmation of the gospel. For God is my witness, how I long for all of you with compassion of Jesus Christ. And this is my prayer, that your love may overflow more and more with the knowledge and full insight to help you determine what is best, so that in the day of Christ you may be pure and blameless, having produced the harvest of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ for the glory and praise of God. You know, there's a lot there that he says. I mean, he talks about their partnership in his ministry. He talks about what they're doing in the defense and the proclamation of the gospel. But most importantly, I think you can hear how Paul's heart longs to be with them. He longs for the comfort that they brought him and the friendship that they meant for him. And that too then made me wonder, are there people in our lives that we need to let know how important they are to us? How much what they do in our lives is meaningful to us? How we long for what is good for them and how much we enjoy when we are in their presence. Maybe there's someone that you can think of right now. Maybe while you go away or have been away on vacation, there is someone or something you miss most, and maybe there's somebody that you need to let know how important they are to you. You know, things like our lazy boy or missing our own bed, you know, that's part of being away. But what about the people? What about the relationships? Maybe take this day to share how important they are to you.